Hello, crypto. How is everybody doing out there? I hope you're doing well. Woo! Pump age is happening. I know market's looking pretty fucking good today. Yeah, markets have a nice little recovery. Sentiment on crypto Twitter is very, very bullish. Diamonds development is flying at the minute. The launch of NFTs a couple of weeks ago has been a very, very good success. Everything in our projects is looking very, very good for the launch of diamonds in a few days' time. So if you've been paying attention over the last few weeks, you'll know what has been happening to make the Blaze price go the way it's been going. And yeah, we're really hoping for some fireworks. People are still fading us. Kind of feel like the underdogs of crypto, of TitanxUtils here, putting the effort in all the time. And still a lot of people not paying attention. And I think we've got something really, really epic coming here in the next few days. But like I say, not just that, the wider markets look good. People have been getting shaken out left, right, and center. Maybe it's not off to the races yet, but there is a lot of bullish sentiment out there on X today. A lot of big KOL accounts posting some very bullish stuff. So tonight we are going to have, Dukes the Great on the show tonight. The part of the team, him and Keto, that have built the TitanxUtils site. We've covered it a few times on the show before. They have done a phenomenal job in pulling together a site that allows the users to get more data and more information from what's happening in the TitanX ecosystem to make decisions on where they want to place their investments. And Rich, in building diamonds, has done a phenomenal job, and not only in his own DApp. There's maybe 7 different pages on the DApp, seven kind of different functions and things you can look at and play around with in this wonderfully constructed crypto DApp. And the data that he's pulled together on his own site is very, very good. But he's went a step further, and he has commissioned Keto and Jukes and the TitanxUtils team to pull together more data to put onto their site, so that users and participants in diamonds, when they start to learn the system and they want to look deeper into what's happening behind the scenes, maybe get a little bit more information, a little bit more data, and simulate, where they put their money into the diamonds protocol, how that might pan out, and help them make better decisions. So we're going to get Jukes on the show here tonight. We're going to go through what he's. We're going to have a quick, talk about how TitanxUtils is coming together and what Rich has got him to do for diamonds. So exciting times, my friends, exciting times. And we'll also, before we kind of wrap up tonight as well, maybe take a little bit shorter of a stream than usual tonight. But before we wrap up, we'll definitely be digging into the what's happening with diamonds and the launch on Tuesday, all the sort of stats and figures that are relevant within Blaze and diamonds, of what is what's making what cook at this minute in time. So yeah, it's going to be a nice and interesting stream here tonight.
Down in the crypto holler, there's a gem called Diamond Bright. 4 ways to join the fun, each one standing on its own right. Pick 1, 2, 3, or all, no strings to tie 'em tight. Check the white paper for details, it'll set you straight tonight. Oh, diamonds, shiny diamonds, independent as can be. Mix 'em up or pick your favorite, works for you and me. Diamonds, shiny diamonds, easy ways to win the game. Yeehaw, grab you, holler out the diamond's name. On 10, 20, 225, store opens wide. Buy diamond certificates, we're here to hold them with pride. Earn these rewards every 28 days, steady as the tide. As long as you keep them NFTs, the goodies keep on coming inside. Oh, diamonds, shiny diamonds, independent as can be. Mix them up or pick your favorite, what's for you and me. Diamonds, shiny diamonds, easy ways to win the game. Yeehaw, grab you, holler out the diamonds.
Shout out to Young Stunners, doing a great job creating content for Rich and the Diamonds Protocol. He's been banging out one of those videos every single day. So we'll share a couple more of those throughout the stream here tonight as well. But okay, let's go. Jukes the Great, enjoying his tea.
Ali.
Yeah, look, I've got my Sunday night cup of tea.
Always, every stream. Ali, man, I'm gonna start dancing there, bro. Like behind the stage, you know, I was that little video. I was getting into the rhythm there.
No, what is it? As long as you keep them NFTs, the goodies keep on coming inside. So,
yeah, it's pretty. It's a good one. It's a good one.
So, how's things? How's your weekend been?
Yeah, the week has been all right. I mean, it's been a strange week, to be honest. I've had like COVID and stuff. Everyone in my house has got COVID like this whole week. But I'm more recovered now, so that's good. And you know, even when you're ill, you just got to keep on working. So that's just what's been going on, you know.
Yeah, important. Yeah. Just because I did see your post put out the other few days ago that you have. I saw you mention a while ago that you were going to start your own development company, and I've seen a compliment that on X. So do you want to tell me just a wee bit about that, about what's happening there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's kind of been a inspiration of mine for a long time. You know, I've always been more entrepreneurial minded, I would say, as an individual. And you know, the job market in the UK right now in London is just not great. Like it's just not in a great state. So I've kind of had this like ambition, like, you know what, I might as well just take matters into my own hands and just push forward with doing something I genuinely want to do and have full autonomy and control, you know, over what I do, really. So that's it. We've started a technology company, a software engineering company. So it's on behalf of me and Keto. I was gonna say Jukes, but like this is Keto. we're both technically Jukes, but okay. Yeah, on behalf of me and Keto. So we're right now the lead devs, and yeah, man, we're just looking to scale this thing up. And we want to be providing extremely professional services, particularly obviously in this ecosystem, basically everything. So web development, which you can kind of see what we've done with TitanxUtils, so stuff like that, and then obviously smart contract development, everything in between, to be honest. So I'm excited, man. I'm a very creative person, you know, like I enjoy to kind of put my mind to tasks and create things. So as well as our own creations like TitanxUtils, and I have ideas of other things I want to create in the future as well. So we're gonna have like our own things we're doing, and then also like being commissioned to actually build for everyone in the space.
So just to clarify, I mean, does that mean that you will be able to put together full full crypto projects for people?
Yep. That's the goal. So everything from web development to smart contracts. So the whole 9 yards, the crypto, the smart contracts, whatever it is, DeFi platform, ERC20 token, non-fungible NFT, and then also the web development that goes alongside that. Basically everything together.
Okay, nice. Good to hear, good to know. So I mean, I'll certainly be checking you guys out next time we need to put something together. So I hope yeah. So it's already begun. You've already started. It's already started. You're already working for people.
Yeah, that's right. So actually, Rich is our first kind of guy. I don't know if I can publicly disclose that. No, yeah, Rich is our first guy. I think that's kind of public now. And we're basically building for him a bunch of analytics, stuff that if you're a pro tier user on TitanxUtils, you have access to for other protocols. We're building that for him, and we're going to integrate that into TitanxUtils and then make it free tier. So it's going to be available for the entire user base. So just for those who don't know, TitanxUtils is a platform me and Keto have been working on and building since earlier this year. Now it's been some time. It's essentially a platform with almost two wings to it. So we kind of have an analytics section. This started off just with NFT stuff, but now we've gone into, you know, other analytics, you know, around vesting with Ouroboros and stuff. So we've got an analytics section, and then we kind of got like simulation tools and then different tools And the main goal of the site really is just to optimize the access to information for the user base of all of these different protocols. If you have good access to information, you have transparency, then your users can make more accurate and better decisions for themselves. And the hope is, if your user base are making better decisions, then everyone's happy in the space. So.
Yeah, having you obviously you guys generously donated the pro version to me to cover on stream, and I've if anybody watching went back to look at the stream where we covered the TitanxUtils site, I was blown away by the amount of information that they pulled together for the whole Titanx ecosystem. So I'm excited to see what you guys have got coming next and what you bring to the ecosystem in the future. But Rich Landon, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, thanks. I just thought I'd hop on to see if you guys had any questions, but I'll just kind of hang around.
Yeah, just how are you feeling at the minute? Obviously, it's been a long road from you've got a few different projects on the go, but this Diamonds project, it's been a long road getting this one put together, finalized, the tokenomics finalized, finally get it in development. How are you feeling about where we are or where you are with it at the minute in terms of this thing's launching in probably less than 48 hours? How are you feeling about everything at this minute in time?
Obviously, I have no idea what pregnancy feels like, but this is 9 months, and I would say it feels like, let me get this thing out.
I haven't heard anybody compare a football project to being pregnant before. Nice one.
No, it's been a long time coming, and obviously, I couldn't be more excited. The audits were clean. The plus testing went well. Everything is working as expected. I'm thrilled. And then we had an outsized participation with the NFT sales, which is now over $50,000 of buy pressure on a token that hasn't even launched yet. So I couldn't be happier. With such a tight supply on Blaze, this thing's going to pump almost regardless of the conditions of the market.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion at the minute, everything's lined up pretty good. We'll dig into some of the stats and figures later on the stream, but it was for what Blaze is and what you've actually built on top of it. It's just it's an epic combination of one token, one project that has a very, very scarce supply out there and a really nice distribution model, and something else built on top of it that's just seems to want to remove the supply of both tokens over time. So it's the participation's been good so far. The marketing's been going really well. We put out a lot of content and put a lot of work into this thing, and I think people are starting to starting to twig on and see. And that shows in the Blaze price, in the participation of the NFTs. And look, I'll say this. I've worked with a lot of people over the last couple of years, and I have not really come across anybody that is as dedicated to the projects that you put into this one. Because, and even going this extra mile, Dukes and TitanxUtils have an absolutely phenomenal site built already. But the fact that you want to not only, these are tough market times and people have invested in protocols, have to spend a lot of money between design, development, audits, and all the marketing, all the things that go. But to go even further again and commission Dukes to do the work that he's doing for you at the minute to make it easier for your users who come into Diamonds to get more information. I think you've done a brilliant job in everything so far, and going and even step further again by getting Dukes to. I was again couldn't believe it of the attention to detail you've got in this thing, to getting data for people. Whenever you let me know that you've got Dukes building all this other stuff, that's just to help people that invest in your protocol.
Yes, I sure appreciate it. I mean, that was the honest intent, was just to inundate people with information so there'd be no questions, but there'll still be questions. But I'm just saying to go the extra mile to make sure, users have a good experience. I want users to be able to have fun with this. I want them to make a profit. I want them to have the data available to make decisions. Yeah. And obviously, this part wasn't necessary with TitanxUtils, but I thought it was a good addition to really expose all the tools that they have on their site and to bring them front and center and put diamonds as the use case to do that.
Another thing as well, props where props are due, because Duke's, Richard's seen the effort you put in to pulling this site together, and like anything, the user base in Titanx is down at the minute. I'm sure you'd like to have a few more users on the site at this minute in time. And Rich saw that and he's like, okay, I want to support these guys. They're supporting the ecosystem. They're working their asses off. They've built something really good, not just for themselves, but for everybody that's in the Titanx. And Rich wanted to get behind you guys and support you as well. So that just kind of shows you the kind of dude that he is.
Yeah, Rich is a solid dude, man. Yeah, we really appreciate him kind of putting his trust and faith in us and showing us his support, to do something, because he's used the site. He paid for the year subscription for TitanxUtils. So, it's good to see that the work we had, even though right now the user base is small and people aren't interested in crypto, like seeing people appreciate the work you've done, and see the time and effort you've put into that, and then, want you to do that for them is a really it's a great compliment. It feels good. So we are really grateful to him for that. And it's a bit overwhelming in some respects when you're kind of starting your own business like this, because a lot of founders, they have dev connections and they've done work with different businesses and things like this. But one thing I will say is starting it up yourself, like people might think, why would you want to go for like a startup over a more established company? And look, an established company, you're just like another name in their client book, Whereas for us, like this work is so important to us, the work we're doing for Rich, because he right now is like obviously giving us this opportunity. So it's like getting it good for him means a lot to us. You know what I mean? So I hope that made sense. I don't know, coming down with COVID, so I don't know if I'm as coherent as I usually am, but
you were fine. You explained it perfectly. Rich, do you want to mention anything before we want to dig into next? I want to dig into the what Dukes is doing for diamonds. We've got the launch in hopefully under 48 hours here, and what is there anything in particular you want to cover first, or do you want to give free rein to just discuss anything that they're putting together for you? Or, what do you want to head on?
I'm excited to be the first customer. That way, I know he's going to give me one heck of an effort, making sure everything's perfect. So that's great. Like he said, when you're part of maybe a bigger institution, you just a run of the mill. You just another number. So yeah, that'd be exciting. But no, we can, without further ado, let's move on.
Okay. I actually have one question. Sorry. I have one question for Rich, because I know you're launching soon with the protocol. I'm wondering, maybe, I don't know what you can and cannot say, but what is one aspect of diamonds that, I know this is not my interview, I'm sorry, Ali. What is one aspect of diamonds that you really feel like that excites you? Like, what is one aspect of diamonds that like excites you about the protocol? I just want to hear it from the man himself.
I can't remember the last time I made a profit in a protocol in the past year or so. So that's one aspect I'm looking forward to. A lot of them have been participate and oops, buy and hold.
Yeah, that's the way a lot of these things have been, unfortunately.
No, that's probably a little bit of poking fun, but so that's obviously one aspect. I like ETH rewards, and I felt like we needed that in this system, this Titanx ecosystem again. And Blaze had that, and it kind of faded. And I had some big bags in the Blaze protocol, and I said, how can we revive those payouts? And then at the same time devise a project that wouldn't give up economic energy to do that. And the way to accomplish that was to use Blaze as the fuel source. So I think that's what I'm most excited about, is that Blaze supply is the constraint to the diamond supply. And from day one, diamonds will always be deflationary compared to Blaze supply with the burn-in mechanisms that we have in it. So I think it's exciting, and I can't wait to get this thing off the ground and going. And, you know, from a community standpoint, I think it was real important for diamonds to be paired with X28, because once we reach parity, we will be burning 50% of the Titanx that comes into the system to mine diamonds. And if we get a large participation, we get a lot of Titanx burned. And so that helps the entire ecosystem, and nobody paid anything to give that benefit. You know, they earned ETH in the process. So nobody has to give up, sort of take one on the chin for it. They just do their normal thing, and all these benefits happen. Yeah, I hope I answered.
Yeah, I really like what you mentioned about the supply being connected to Blaze, because at the end of the day, I'm wondering if some of the protocols that have come out struggled because the mint phase is only for a particular amount of time. There's no more. It's difficult now for the protocol to get more economic energy that feeds all the different systems within the protocol. I'm talking about the blind burns and these types of systems. So seeing diamonds kind of go the other way, where it's not a limited mint phase, it's a mint phase that follows 1-to-1 with Blaze, and by doing that, Blaze supply over time should be going down. The amount you should be getting it daily in the auction should be going down. So in a sense, it is still kind of I think the term is disinflationary, if I'm being fancy, but you're still shrinking supply or future potential supply. But because it's not closed, you still have windows where when Diamond Roy perhaps to Blaze token is high, then you could see a lot more fresh powder coming in. People arbitrage those differences, and then that kind of feeds the system. So I like that.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good word, and I'll learn it. Disinflationary, because that's more appropriate. Every time I would say deflationary, I said that can't quite be so, because you're minting every day. So, but that's a better word.
I believe that's a term. Yeah, I think that's the term.
Absolutely, it definitely is a term. I've definitely seen that in a good few white papers. Yeah.
Disinflationary. Yeah.
Okay, so the what can we expect first from you guys? You know, TitanxUtils has a free tier and a paid tier. Rich is paying you guys to make sure that all the stuff that you build for diamonds is free to everybody on the site, which is well, it's going to be great for just getting people along, to maybe people that are, you know, again, like people that aren't paying attention. This is a brand new protocol launching into the ecosystem. Hopefully we catch the eyeballs of many in Titanx and outside. So it could bring some fresh blood in viewing the site and seeing what you've got. So what's the first thing that you're going to be launching for diamonds on the TitanxUtils site?
Yeah, so the first thing we're launching is next week. So the protocol, I believe, goes live on Tuesday.
Yeah,
it's the 11th. And then during that week, hopefully quite soon, we'll get the mining simulator page out, and we're going to get the auction simulator page out. So we actually haven't got any auction simulators on our page yet. So this is a kind of a new page that we're adding. So those are the first two things to expect. Following week from that, some of the work on the analytics should be coming out. So we're going to have the mining analytics information coming out there. So you'll be able to, just similar to Ouroboros, where we had the vesting information, we're going to have the similar type of information for diamonds week 2. Incredible.
That's going to be very helpful.
Yeah, and that's not even all of it. Like we've got a lot more coming. We've got it's a full. We're doing quite an extensive amount of work on diamonds. There's going to be a lot of information available for users, and the fact for the users, this is great for you because you're getting all this for free. Like all of this information, you'll be able to see at any time. So there's usually a lot of this stuff is behind paywalls, and and stuff like that, because Rich is commissioning this work, it's going to be free for all the users. So you're going to have mining stats. You're going to be able to track all the stats to do with mining, staking stats, auction stats, NFT stats, the whole 9 yards when it comes to stats. As much analytics as you can get. And then you're also going to have a whole suite of different simulation tools. I call them simulation tools. You can think of them like calculators, but more advanced. You've got the mining simulator, you got the auction simulator, staking simulator, NFT rewards simulator. So yeah.
See at the minute, then most protocols have mining or auctions. So do you want to just give a quick description, Rich, as to what the two different parts are here? Obviously, mining is getting diamonds, but if there's an auction, what's the difference between the two parts we're talking about here? Because, like I say, even when you come to TitanxUtils, you have the option to go into mining protocols or auction protocols, but diamonds has got both. What's the difference, Rich, in your protocol?
Yep. So that's a very good question, actually, because there's a big distinction between the way the Blaze auctions runs. That's where you get your Blaze supplies from the auctions. Whereas this diamonds auction is where you get rid of your supply and you're competing for ETH. Whereas on the diamond protocol, mining is where you get your supply. Yep. Is that, you need more?
Yeah, no, that's all good. All good. Okay, so where's it? Just out of interest, then, Dukes, where will this stuff show up on the site?
Yeah, so you will see it under. So if you go to analytics, if you hover over there and click on protocol analytics, so you'll see on Diamond's shop a lot amongst this list of protocols, and just like Ouroboros, it will be actually it'll be showing as selected, like you can select it. And when you select it, if you select Ouroboros here, you'll see, I believe there's a bunch of options and vesting shows up as selectable. The others are grayed out. So we're going to have all the different analytics pages we're building for diamonds show up under there. So when you click on diamonds, it will show up all the different options. Like I said, first one coming out should be in 2 weeks. That's the mining analytics page. So you'll see down here mining, you'll see staking, auction, and then the NFT data. We're going to put, I believe we're putting a link to it here as well, but it will also be available under the NFT tab.
Okay, so in here, in the state at the minute, you can come and view all the ROI potential, all the NFTs, and any projects that have NFTs, you can come in and have a look, click into them and have a look at the stats for the NFTs. Geez, Rich, you've got flipping everything going on here in diamonds. You've got NFTs. Like most protocols they're not touching on all these points, but you've got everything in here. So whenever you start to get this on the site, the first thing coming is going to be the mining simulator, correct?
For a week, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so mining simulator first. I think I might as well launch it simultaneously with the auction simulator, to be honest. But I hope to get them both out fairly quickly. So big one.
Yes. So we'll be able to come in analytics here.
So yeah, so
under
analytics.
Fucking Saints won today.
Sorry, was that? Yes, under analytics, you'll get the diamonds, all the different diamond stuff, stats. And then if you go to tools, you'll be able to get and then there's currently mining simulators, tax simulators. We're going to add auction simulators and staking simulators here. But you're going to get all the simulator tools under this tab, basically. So you'll be able to go to, like, let's say mining simulators. You'll come up with the options, then you click diamonds, and then you do what you need to do there. I have this page partly made, by the way, so if you want me, I can show you today a little bit.
Yeah, if you got it, you can show now, have you?
Yeah, I can show it to you, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if people watching, if you haven't used this site yet, it is pretty damn epic for getting data. It's just an idea. You can click into even TitanX, and you can kind of put it, have a look at what you're going to invest. If you're going to invest a dollar amount or an ETH amount, you can select how much you're going to put in the data. So instead of having to go to TitanX, in the TitanX site, and it doesn't give you all the details you need. In here, you can come in and plug in all the details you need, and it kind of spits back all sorts of information. We'll just put in max there, just to put in 1 ETH max, calculate. It kind of gives you a breakdown of where everything's going, whenever you put your money in, what it does in the system. And the fact, you go to TitanX and have a look at this, you can kind of look at any protocol in the ecosystem on TitanxUtils, and it'll give you more information than what you're going to get on each individual's and each individual project's DApp. So if you're participating in diamonds, there's going to be an absolute mountain of things that you can use this site for over the next getting added over the next month. Let me remove this, and you can show yours.
That's what we gotta do. Yeah, so bear in mind, guys, this page is not fully complete yet. Obviously, I need the contracts to go live to get certain information. But yeah, this is kind of like what we have working now. Share screen.
Yeah, you make a good point. There's mining, there's staking, there's NFTs, and there's auctions. 4 different features within the protocol, and massive burning.
That's why it took 9 months to cook.
Yeah, and LP build. So I mean, 5 or 6 amazing features.
Yeah. So yeah, if you look at this, it's a similar kind of layout to the one you just saw, the TitanX one.
Can you scroll in a little bit, just make it a little bit bigger for us? I can't see it very clearly.
That's fine.
All right.
How are we doing with this? Oh, that's way too big.
Yeah.
Oops. Is that okay?
Yep, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do for the yeah.
Yeah. So so like I said, there's still elements here that obviously aren't correct. It's technically not the day one of the protocol. That's obviously not right. Obviously, the diamond's price, I am approximating it to be 2 to 1 right now in ratio to Blaze. So the Blaze price and ETH price, I believe, should be accurate, but we're just approximating diamonds. There's no price yet. So yeah, it works very similar to the TitanX one. So you have a input currency. Now with diamonds mining, you can either just put ETH straight in, I believe, or you can kind of split it ETH and Blaze at the same time. So that explains the options we have here. Obviously, for simplicity, if you just want to do USD, let's say you've got $1,000 to invest, then you can just calculate based off pure USD values, which I believe to be extremely helpful. And then, yeah, so you can play around with the ETH input here. You can put ETH in, or you can put ETH and Blaze in here. I need to make sure this logically works correct, because this should, the way I'm going to do this when this goes live, the way it should work is when you put a value in here, it should auto fill out the Blaze one and get the correct amount of Blaze for that amount of ETH that you're putting into the protocol, because that would be basically 50-50 value each one. So they should be the same value in dollar terms. So that should make calculating that very nice. But yeah, that's a feature that I need to add soon. But let's say you just go to ETH and you put some ETH in, like let's say 1 ETH. You click the calculate button here. Now there's no input field for the days, because with the mining, the max days is 100, and that's like the standard. So you can early claim, and I have an early claim feature here. But whenever you make a miner, it's going to be set to the max days, which is 100. And then yeah, so you get the mining distribution breakdown here. So 50% of this ETH is going to go and buy up Blaze, and then so you have 2 distributions. You have the Blaze distribution, and you have the ETH distribution here.
Okay, let me just jump in. Let me just jump in quickly and explain, because there's again, looking at what you've already pulled together here, you can see that a lot of these protocols in TitanX have a lot of moving parts. And looking at this, you can see, we'll show quickly the TitanX, where you can go and you can select your dollar value or your ETH value. You can change the miners, but what you've done here extremely well is, when you read the white paper and it's telling you where the distribution of the funds you put in, where it's all going, you don't even see that, and you've got to work all that out kind of for yourself whenever you're investing in all these protocols. What you've done here, and I've used it for the other sites, Dukes, I've played around with it, but again, this protocol is taking it a step further again. And you're even just looking at this, you're doing a phenomenal job in being able to pull all the correct stuff together. You've got the fact you've got that ETH and Blaze box added there, the fact that you've got 2 distribution sections to toggle between, because in diamonds, when you put your Blaze and ETH into the system, they both go and do different things in the protocol. And this is breaking it down and showing the user exactly where every part of the funds they're putting in is going to in dollar values. Amazing job. Fucking love it. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's really sick. And one thing you can do with this, and I mentioned this with the other mining simulator tools, is, you know, you can play around with this for your investment and you can see where your funds are going. But you can also look at this in a wider lens as well. You can kind of zoom out and think, you know, what happens if, like, you can play around this number, like what happens if this protocol gets 100 ETH, for example, you know, going into it. And then you can actually see exactly how much ETH is going to be given to each section, how much Blaze is going to be given to each section. And it's a really nice way of just being able to see like how the protocol can really bloom and blossom, you know. So you can kind of play it with 2 different scopes on the lens. You can have a narrower scope, which is focusing on yourself and what you can, where your funds are going and how much tokens you're going to generate, etc. But you can also look at it on that wider lens as well and see and just play around the numbers. Like if this
I never actually even thought about that.
yeah.
That's fucking, that's super. We're going to be streaming pretty much every day in the first week of the protocol launching. And I could say, you know, if this is available, I could see this using this quite a lot going, right. Well, today we had 10 ETH come into the system today. Here's exactly where it's all going. Yeah, nice one. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah. It's really it's a really sick thing. It's something that I noticed like no one else is doing it. This is something that I haven't seen people do, but I think it's so important to a lot of these DeFi protocols because people, you know, like you said earlier, you're reading the white paper and there's a lot of words and different percentages and all that stuff, but that easily flies over your head and you can forget it very quickly. So as an investor, it's nice to be able to go onto TitanxUtils, go onto the site and just be like, okay, I want to get into this protocol, but I haven't got the time to read the white paper. I just want to do a quick calculation. What happens? And then quickly, I remember, like, if I forget how a protocol handles its funds, I can just quickly go to this, and in 2 seconds, I can figure out very quickly what's going on. So, yeah, it's really cool. And so you'll see down here, the total ETH is 0.5. And like I said, we're putting 1 ETH in, but that's getting split into 2. So half of that ETH goes into the ETH side of the distribution, and half of that ETH goes into buying up Blaze and going into the Blaze side of that distribution there. So really cool. And if we scroll down here, the ROI is 0%. I think that's because, that's basically because I've set the value of diamonds to like be the break even value. Technically, it's 2 to 1. So if diamonds is a 2 to 1 price to Blaze, then it's going to be break even on mining ROI. So that's why if you come down here, you check the ROI analysis, you see the ROI is showing 0%. That's just the reason. That's just because I've set it like that. Again, this is not live yet. This is still in dev. This is running on my dev server. This is not on the official website yet. But when the protocol launches on Tuesday and we get this out, all the ROIs and everything will be functioning correctly. And then so you get this little cost breakdown here. So obviously this protocol is a bit different to the other kind of mining protocols. There's no like power and stuff like that to break down. So we haven't got that breakdown, but we just show you again the breakdown of like, okay, you put in 1 ETH, how much of that goes into the ETH side and the Blaze side. So 0.5 ETH, and apparently right now that would be 7,000 Blaze. That should be equal. Oh, yeah, I've just clicked that. And this is clickable. So if you click this, I'll get to in a second. So down here, you can see the amount of diamonds tokens you're getting. So you might notice here that the diamonds and Blaze amount is exactly the same. That's because this protocol mints the amount of diamond tokens you're getting is a 1-to-1 mint with the amount of Blaze tokens you put into create diamonds. So that's actually a fairly straightforward calculation. Obviously, again, supply increase 0% because we haven't got any data on how much tokens exist, obviously, because this is not live. But like I said earlier, so when I was speaking earlier, I said there's no input here to select days, because when you create a miner, it's going to be automatically 100 days. But right now you can actually just click on this and then you can just calculate an early claim. So if you wanted to claim it in, I don't know, 28 days, you can come here, claim it 28 days, and you can see how much diamond tokens you're going to be getting in that scenario. Versus if you wait the 400 days, the differences here between the ROIs, the differences in how much diamonds you'll be forfeiting in that case, difference of value, difference of ROI, everything like that. So
love it, man. Okay, let me just clarify just for the viewers at the minute. So one difference in diamonds that compared to many other protocols that you would be used to playing in, that is when you mine diamonds, not only do you have to put two coins in, Blaze and ETH. You can put in ETH, it will mark it by Blaze, but every miner is 100 days. There's no, you can't change that. Whatever value you put in, that goes to mine for 100 days. And it's at that 1-to-1 ratio. Whatever Blaze you put in is how many diamonds you're getting at the end of 100 days. But you can early claim at any time. So over 100 days, you accrue 1% of your foot allocation each day. So every day, what you're getting is an additional 1% of what you would get towards your 100 days. Nice, easy calculation for everybody to do. If you wait 20 days, you can claim 20% of the diamond. So you put 1,000 Blaze in, you're expecting 1,000 diamonds. After 20 days, you'll be able to claim 20% off that 1,000. And again, this calculator here is showing you at any stage how many diamonds you'll get, what the current ROI can be at that time. How have you found pulling? There's a lot of data here. Is it fairly easy to pull all this stuff? Like when you're building this, is it time? And the more you're adding on, does it get more complex, or is it fairly, for you, straightforward to just go and find all this data that you need?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly at the start. So when we first started building the site and I was building these pages, they took me significantly longer to do. But now, like, a lot of the site is built up, and obviously I've got experience doing this. So this type of stuff I can knock up. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like when I'm getting into it, I know the process. Like I know what I need to do. I know what data I need to get. I know what components I need to build. I know what backend services I need to build. So I know, like, I basically just know what I need to do. I've done these mining simulators so many times now, so it is complicated, and definitely at the start it was a lot more challenging to get done and done correctly. I remember when I finished the TitanX one, I was like, oh my god, I finished the TitanX one. You know what I mean? I was like, that was like a huge milestone, at the time. And then I built one for Hyper, then Hydra, then all the different mining ones, so Taurus and stuff like that. And now it's like, I've kind of got like good experience on this, so I know what I'm doing. Like with a lot of this stuff, like these calculations, a lot of it is like we already have all the prices cached. So we have like a server that has all the prices for all the tokens cached. And then we're pulling in all those values, and a lot of it is kind of calculations based off the price of ETH and Blaze. And then, thankfully with this protocol, because it's a 1-to-1 mint with Blaze, actually the logic for how much tokens you're getting isn't too difficult to figure out. You need to figure out how much Blaze you're getting first, then you figure out how much diamonds, and then you play around with that. So and even in this bit, the 100 days, 100% is probably quite an easy calculation compared to other things. But just looking at what you've built here so far for diamonds, I absolutely love it. What we've got coming here, when this thing launches, I could see myself spending a hell of a lot of time on TitanxUtils, playing around with all this stuff. But for the user, the easier you make things, the more information you give them, hopefully the better experience they have. But even just looking at what you've got here, because these protocols are quite complex, but I'm just saying, even the way you've got everything displayed here is nice, clear, crisp, concise. But even the little explainer boxes there just says early claim penalty. Claiming before 100 days results in proportionally reduced rewards. Day 50 equals 50% of full rewards. It's another, I'm just pointing that out because it's another nice little touch that takes something and just reiterates it again, nice and simply for the user.
while they're playing with this, they can get reminded of little details that will affect their investments.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, the small details really matter. And like you said, I want to give the users the easiest ability to understand the protocol. That's one of the big, like I've said since day one, that's one of the biggest goals we've had with the site. Because, a lot of, when you speak to people in TitanX and, you speak about onboarding perhaps new people into this ecosystem who don't have experience in DeFi, maybe they bought some Dogecoin once on some exchange, or they just kind of understand crypto. Maybe they understand how to use MetaMask and wallets and different chains and stuff. But even then, bridging that gap to some of these protocols, I think, can be intimidating, and that might be a challenge actually within this community, within this landscape, because the protocols are quite complex. You don't want a challenge with bringing the users in where it's just too complex for them. They don't understand what it is and they just turn away from it. I think having these types of resources for users to come onto and quickly understand how things work in a very easy manner, in a manner that makes it clear to them, is a very, very important resource for the community. So that's one of the kind of key goals there. And that's why we have these little things. And I'll probably add more of them, to be honest, to explain more. But yeah.
I got a quick question. So the early claim calculator here is based on ROI from the mint price, or I guess what happens if the diamond's price would go up to $20 a piece? How does that reflect these numbers?
So these numbers here, like in terms of the amount of diamond generated, that's going to be the same because that's based off what you put in. So if let's say you put this in and then in a week's time, diamond's price goes up, where that will affect it is obviously the return on investment. So like I said, right now, the ROI is just showing 0% for full miner. That's just because that's what we set the price of diamonds as. So obviously this is going to show negative. However, you're going to have the situation where obviously the full term miner is always going to show a higher ROI than the early claim. However, it might be nice for users to see, okay, for early claim, I'm getting still a decent ROI, and they might want to take that profit, recycle it into the protocol or play with it. So I guess for the user, you have to make that choice. Like, do you want to wait the full term and get possibly the highest ROI? But then you don't know because the price fluctuates a lot and you don't know if there's a large amount of supply coming out in a particular time and you're worried about that. So I would say for a user, like looking at this from a user perspective, you have to take all the tools we're making and use them all together. So what I would do is I would look at our mining stats page, look at when all the supply is coming out, perhaps which wallets are controlling most of the supply, and then make your decision based off that. So like, let's say, there's a bunch of supply coming out in a week from now, not much supply is coming out in this current week. The ROI is good on my early claim. I can come and early claim it now. I still get a good ROI. Maybe that's a better decision to make than waiting. That's up to the user to make that decision. But what I'm saying is you have to kind of, what I would do as a user, I would use all the tools together to get the best maximum value.
I guess my question was more better suited towards the simulator than the actual calculator. And I'm just trying to figure out what people could do for using the simulator to put in a what if price where they would be on week 3 or something based on what they entered at.
Yeah, I don't see why we can't add that, to be honest. If users want to play with that type of stuff, then there's no reason why we can't add a simulator price on the actual price, the assimilation on the price of the token as well. It's a good idea.
Okay.
But yeah, that's that. And then I think I kind of laid it off here. We have a bit of information here for users. Like I said, Ether distribution 50%, base distribution 50%. These are the percentages for each kind of part of the protocol there. And yeah.
Nice. It's all again, even there, if you had this, when we were doing early streams, Rich, and you go through the white paper and you're going through the diagrams, you could nearly do a better job just playing around with something like this. It's all broken down right there.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so this is this the mining simulator? Is this the first thing you're launching for the protocol?
Yeah, that'll be the first thing coming. And then we should have the auction simulator coming as well.
Have you
This one, I do have a UI up as well, so I can share that for you. Let's just stop sharing. This one is a bit more of a first draft, because I worked on the other one first, so this one's a bit more of a first draft. This is more just UI for now. Let me just share this again. Is that the right one? Okay, I think that's the right one. Again, this will probably have more additions to it. And the data, again, is dummy data. This is pretty much all dummy data because there's a lot of stuff we can add. Is this screen sharing?
Yeah, it is now. So, Rich, do you want to tell us what the auction is first, quickly?
Yes, the auction is a weekly Ethereum payout for users looking to have a weekly ETH income by using these tools to get diamonds in their hands at some method, whether buying off the market or early claiming or waiting till their miners are done. This is always going on once a week, so they can have. It's a competition. It will get more heated toward the end of the cycle each week, like day 7, and people could determine if it's worth it to go buy some diamonds at X price. And if they put it in, they'll have X shares of the pool based on others, and they'll see what their Ethereum reward could be. Hopefully with this simulator, it would bring some clarity to that. That's the purpose of this tool in my mind.
Okay, so
yeah,
it's it was interesting watching the stream with Mike Dean yesterday. This is one of the things that kind of he seemed to like most about the protocol. Something that hasn't been really done before is that, you know, you're mining and you're participating. Maybe you're mining, you're waiting to get your diamonds to sell them on the market, or you're going to stake them. But this little part of the protocol is something separate to everything else. It's part of the system. So 20% of the ETH that comes in ends up in a pool, which is up for auction every 7 days, and it just resets. If you participated the week before, you're not a participant anymore. And to play in this auction, you're going to have to find diamonds somehow, either through mining them and claiming early, or you're going to have to go and buy them from a very, very tight liquidity pool. And this auction just resets every week. It's just played. It's a game. It's played over and over and over again. There's always going to be ETH sitting in there. People come in, they throw their diamonds in for a percentage of the ETH that's in there, and those diamonds never hit the market again. It's almost like a little weekly additional burn on the token for ETH payments.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think that the greatest features about this protocol is that you don't have to just dump on the market. That's if you just participate in all the features, you should ROI with the Ethereum payouts. And this is just the case of that, where you bring the diamonds, instead of selling them, you put them in the auction, and then you get competing for ETH in it. Now, obviously, you can keep some diamond. You could use these tools to determine whether it's worth it to go into the auction or to sell on the market. And since we have 60% of the ETH that's coming in is building a nice thick LP from the start, there should be adequate liquidity to sell into if you want to, or you could go into the diamond exchange. The diamond exchange is going to reduce supply. Selling on the market is going to thicken the LP. So, or you can stake it.
Yeah, I think this I kind of have similar kind of aspect outlook here to Mike, because I think this is a really, really cool aspect to this protocol. It kind of gives me vibes of like, you know, like the early TitanX days. You almost had this price floor set in by the 28-day stake payout and the 8-day stake payout. So with TitanX, like obviously if TitanX price dipped, because those payout pools are so big, people were buying TitanX off supply, pushing the price up to enter into those stake pools to get that ETH reward. This is like that in a sense, but it's like even better, because like with this, the tokens you put in, they get burned. and your shares of the pool after the weekly auction, after you get your payout, they disappear. So it resets. And that's so cool. It means that like big whales can't just abuse the system and just keep on adding to their position and growing like an infinitely large position in this kind of payout pool. This is an auction. So those tokens that go in, they're gonna go. And then again, if people look at this calculator, they see there's a big payout. They might see there's a price dip on diamonds, and they might see I can snatch a nice Roy right now. And obviously, like Rich said, this is a weekly thing. I do need to add the day. I'm gonna have to add the day on this, particularly like what day or how long is left of the auction. I need to add that, but it's going to be an interesting tool to play with to see, obviously, what's going on, and stuff like this could create price floors for diamonds. If diamond price is dipping, technically that means the Roy is bigger because you're buying it and then you're getting the ETH out. So it's going to be really interesting, and I hope this tool is something that helps the users.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sell pressure here. You bring the diamonds, you get the ETH, the diamonds get burned. There's no sell pressure on the chart. I mean, this is this protocol is a compounder's dream.
Do you want to talk? I need to. I'm going to make another quick cup of tea here. Can you? Do you two want to explain what's going on here in this actual simulator then?
Yeah. So the numbers we have up right now are all kind of just like dummy data. So the data here is obviously because this is something that the data we can't really get until the protocol is live. Obviously because there's no shares and there's no payout technically yet. So basically with this tool, you'll be able to come in, you'll be able to select either USD or diamonds as your input. So very similar to the mining simulator. And then you'll be able to play around with this. So like, you'll be able to say, well, let's say I put $1,000 into this auction. It will calculate for you how much diamonds that's worth. And then you're entering that into these numbers are all, you can forget these numbers that are showing up now. But so it'll be able to calculate for you how many diamonds you'll be able to get with that grand, and then how much shares you're able to get in the pool for that equivalent USD value. And then it'll bring up some other information there, how much money is entered into the pool in terms of diamonds, obviously your contribution, the total ETH in your payout, and the total ETH in the pool. So that's in the payout metrics here. That's essentially the information we're showing here. I do need to add this. I want this to show how much diamonds you've entered and how much diamonds you've entered here and how much diamonds have entered the entire pool. So right now it's just showing dollar values, but that's something I'm going to add. And then, I think this one is a bit more straightforward in terms of like the UI. There is this really cool thing here, projected burn analysis. So this is just showing you like, in terms of the amount of diamonds you're entering, how much supply are you burning from your entry, which is really cool. I like to see percentages. Like if someone's a big player and they're going to enter this, they can see if they're putting this much money in, how much supply is being burned, because every diamond that enters this is getting burned. So do you have any thoughts on that, Rich? I think he's muted. Okay.
Oh, sorry. What was the question? What was the question?
I was asking what your thoughts are on this.
I love it.
Like
Absolutely
being able
love
to
it.
see the burn analysis here, and so you're gonna have the ROI here, then you're gonna have the burn analysis here. You're gonna be able to see how much tokens you're burning, and then the payout metrics.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Can't wait to when it's live and I can concentrate with it and just really get into deep thought about strategies, because I will be participating in this protocol just like everyone else.
Yeah, I don't believe there's any Genesis allocation of diamond tokens or anything, so it's fair game out here, man. This is TitanX. This is the world we live in. It's good to have these fair launch protocols, and that's it. I think these getting these tools out as soon as possible for the users is going to be really important, because like you said, I think people will be able to come to this and play around with it, play around with how many tokens they'll be able to generate from mining, how much ETH they'll be able to earn from the the pool there. And I think it's going to be really interesting because obviously day one of protocol launch, you're going to see possibly a lot of ETH or Blaze go into the miners. And obviously, like we know that supply is locked away. It's not locked, but it's coming out in 100 days. So, but simultaneously to that, when users are putting in those funds, a bunch of those funds are going to be allocated to this payout pool. So you're going to have this interesting situation where there probably won't be that many tokens on the market, but there might be a nice big weekly auction. And what people are going to do, are they going to buy off supply, push price up, causing mining ROI to be higher, causing more people to mine, causing the payout in this pool to go up? You know, this protocol is so cool because there's so many like moving parts that can all like influence each other. So yeah, and then people might buy off supply, or they might end claim their miner and go straight into this pool. You know, so like that's cool because let's say you early claim a miner and you're up like, I don't know, let's just say 50%. Let's just say there's been a pump, you're up 50%, then you go into this pool and you make another 25%. You know, like there's so many moving parts to this protocol that you can play with.
I think the best measure of success on this tool right here, or not this tool, but the weekly exchange, is to see if we see one miner exit on 7 days to get tokens to go in the pool. That'll be the best measurement of success. If the ROI is so high that they are profitable or even breaking even on 7 days, forfeiting 93% of their supply, but still being equal to the amount of money they spent to get it on 7 days, just to get tokens to go in and get the ETH. So not only did they break even, now they got tokens that could go in the pool and get ETH. So that's their profit for the week.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of my favorite things in the whole protocol is all the different ways of pulling supply off the market. Just the fact that, people come along and they put a chunk of ETH in, a chunk of Blaze in, and that goes into the system. And it's in there, it's making things work. It's putting Blaze in, it's taking Blaze off the market. It's putting Blaze in the stake, and it's earning more ETH from there. And then that user might end up forfeiting like 90% of the supply that they were hoping to get, but all their value is still left behind in the system. They might get a quick ROI and leave, but they leave everything else there for the system to keep on working with and using.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say it's a compounder's dream. I mean, as long as they make a profit on what they invested, and if they're positive, and let's say they made $1,000 in a week, that's positive for them. They could take money and go right back in the system with it, and the system has all the ETH, has all the Blaze that they brought from mining, and now they start a new miner. So yeah, this is amazing. I can't wait to see it get going.
Yeah, and
listen, guys, I'm gonna have to jump off the call, and I'll go ahead and attend it from the YouTube. I got to run.
That's all good, man. Take care. It was good to have you. Yeah, so I was going to mention a point here, actually. Rich was saying that this is a compounder's dream, and I've mentioned this point, I think, quite a few times now. So people who watch me are probably sick to death of me mentioning this point. But like when TitanX came out, one of the reasons for its huge success was the way people compounded their gains in TitanX. Drove the TitanX, I call it like the TitanX frenzy, like right at the start. TitanX wasn't doing insane numbers in the first month. It was really after the first month when people started to get their miners. Some people did 30-day miners and stuff, and they got that token supply, then they staked it, got the ETH payout, and they bought back in or did another miner. Like people started compounding in TitanX so much that it just attracted so many eyeballs and it attracted so much money into the protocol. So compounding and having a protocol that you can compound with, I think, is such an important factor to have. If I'm going to take any lessons from the success of previous protocols, I see that as a big one, allowing users to compound gains, because it keeps the protocol interesting. It keeps different ways that you can play the game. If you look at, for example, Element 280, when Element 280 launched, so many funds, I can't remember how much now, maybe 20 trillion or something crazy number of TitanX went into Element 280. And one of the biggest reasons was people were getting the NFTs or minting the NFTs and then getting huge rewards because the tax was high, the volume was high, getting huge rewards, burning the NFT, taking their rewards and recycling it. And it just carried on recycling like into the protocol, and it just built up an absolutely crazy amount of funds that went in. So compounding is it's a very important aspect to these DeFi protocols. So I just wanted to mention that these tools, not these tools, but the protocol having a weekly auction, having staking, and having the mining are really key metrics like that. It has almost everything you need to give people a game to play, to give people to compound, and hopefully these tools aid in that process.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen, what you've put together so far, looks good, and I believe there's going to be more additions to this to help people participate in other aspects of the Diamonds protocol. So plenty more work to do for you, and plenty more features for the users, not only not only in the Diamond stuff, but all over TitanxUtils. But you have a lot to do for Diamonds over the next few weeks. Yeah.
A lot to do indeed. Yeah, so we're going to be busy working. I'm going to get no sleep. I don't sleep anyway, but I'm going to be just working. That's like basically all I do now. So
yeah,
that's what I want to do.
I do foresee us using the stuff that you put together quite a lot on these streams. So we're getting damn close to launch. This one's kind of creeped up on us. We've been working on it for so long. We've had the heads down, streaming regularly, and just putting out content all the time, putting out as much coverage as we can of the protocol. I can't believe it's here, ready to launch in a couple of days' time. How have you found this pulling the data together so far for Diamonds compared to some of the other protocols in the ecosystem? Has it been okay, or has it thrown up a few additional challenges?
Yeah, like I said, on the mining simulator stuff, it's been fairly okay, to be honest, because the way the protocol is designed, the calculations aren't too complicated to do. So that one's been actually, I would say, felt easier than the other ones. Obviously, with the auction simulator, I was saying while you were making your tea, hopefully that's a good cup of tea you have there, my friend.
It's a bit weak. I was hurrying, so it's a little bit weak.
Yeah. So with the auction stuff, like obviously we haven't got the data yet because we need to wait for the contracts to go live to pull in this data for the auction simulator. So technically we haven't got the data there yet. I hope it's not too hard. I'm gonna have to obviously play around with things when the contracts go live, and hopefully we can get it going pretty soon. In theory, it's calculation wise, it's not too different to what we've done because I've got auction ROI pages, and we have to basically run all these calculations to get you the auction ROI. So in theory, I believe I should be able to get this one knocked out hopefully fairly quickly. When it comes to the analytical information, the stats information, we'll have to see. Again, the contracts aren't live, so we don't know exactly how difficult it will be yet. Knocking out Ouroboros was a huge challenge. Navigating the amount of data we were trying to cache and save off the blockchain was a substantial task, particularly when you're working with data, caching it effectively, particularly within the limits that you can, without things going overboard. So that was a challenge with Ouroboros. We're going to have to just wait and see what the challenges with here. What we'll probably do is when we're knocking things out for this, we'll do a catch-up stream, and we'll bring in the new tools that we've got going, and I'm sure then when you ask, I'll be able to give you a more clearer, concise answer. But for now, we await to see how difficult pulling the data in will be.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're welcome on the stream anytime. It kind of leads quite nicely in here. I want to start wrapping things up a little bit. But Diamonds Protocol launching. It will be within 48 hours. The date is set 11/11. We haven't announced a time or anything yet. And I've been mentioning to the guys, Utah and Rich, that we'll probably have to stream quite regularly whenever this thing launches. I do foresee and hope that we can catch some eyeballs and a bit more mind share whenever people see notice that what's happening with the Blaze chart. Hopefully that continues in the right direction. We do like the fundamentals built into the Diamonds protocol for, because it is going to be a very, very scarce supply at the beginning. We have got that 50K already built up in a buy and burn for a protocol that hasn't even launched yet. So I think whenever it goes live, there's going to be a lot of moving parts, a lot of ways to play, and a lot of things to discuss. Your site is going to help us, cover all that stuff. So yeah, you'd be welcome to come back on again, maybe towards the end of next week. Maybe once the first simulator is up and live, we'll probably be streaming. Yeah, we will be streaming every night this week. Maybe towards it once that comes out, then you can come back on and go through it with us. And hopefully, then we've got some massive green candles on the charts and things.
Yeah, hopefully we see huge rise across mining and auction and staking and everything. Yeah. So yeah, no man, I thank you for having me on, and it's always a pleasure to speak with you and to be on the show. You guys have been killing it with content. You've been content fagging, as they say now. I don't know if that's a word yet, but you've been out there doing it. So big respect to you for that, and thank you for having me on. And I look forward to being on hopefully soon.
Yeah. So what's the best place to find yourself?
So yeah, if you go to @JukesTheGreat on Twitter, or X as it is now, then you'll find me there. In terms of updates for TitanxUtils specifically, then you can go to @TitanxUtils on X as well. We have a Twitter page, X page. Keep saying Twitter. We have an X page. We also have a Telegram. I believe it's t.me/TitanxUtils is the link to enter that. So you'll get updates there as well. And in terms of our company, if anyone wants to reach out and they want to build anything, protocol website, basically anything to do with software, then you can find us currently on X. So I believe it's @JukesTechnology. I think it might be Jukes Technology Ltd. Actually, let me quickly check that before I give the plug. Is it not? Yeah, so @Jukes Technology on X, you can find the company there, and reach out to us. Or you could just DM me, and we can have a little consultation, and then whatever you want to do moving forward, we will accommodate you. So, yeah.
All right, awesome, man. Thanks for coming on the stream and explaining all this stuff. I'm excited to see these features for diamonds whenever they start to come out. And yeah, great job on TitanxUtils. Anybody not using that yet, definitely get on there and check it out. And especially when we launch diamonds, we'll start adding some of these free features for the Diamonds protocol on TitanxUtils. So yeah, all right, Jukes. Yeah, let's hopefully chat to you later on in the week. So yeah, hope you had a nice weekend too, and yeah, have a great week. Keep building, keep working.
You too, Ali.
All right, good luck, man.
Take care, everyone.
Let's see what have we got now. Another Young Stunners video coming up.
Look, folks, this is huge. We start going to put tariffs, big tariffs on ETH. We're going to make people buy diamonds. Diamonds, the best, the classiest. It's all about the diamonds, now more valuable, more powerful. Everyone sits talking about it. We're making buying and crushing, buying and burning great again, folks. Really great. November 11th is coming. It's a whole new game, folks, a winning game, the biggest. Believe me.
Diamonds will be very scarce in the market. Blaze is already pretty scarce on the market. So we're hoping for fireworks between the two. Oh, fucking love it. All right. Before we wrap up tonight, I do want to just take a quick look at some of the stuff that's what's happening out there in the market at the minute with Blaze, with diamonds. Just give a quick overview of where we're at before the protocol kicks off in a couple of days' time. So let me just get my screen up and share here. Okay. Bubbles. Once again, Blaze is the biggest bubble on TitanX. We've been pulling this off quite regularly now for a few weeks, and this is we're speculating. What's happening with Blaze is auctions are filling up most days at the minute. So for a long time, when we look at the Blaze chart, for quite some time, downward trajectory. Day 365 was obviously a massive part of the protocol. This is technically when the use of the Blaze token almost kind of closed down. The 888 day pool for Blaze with about $500,000 of ETH in it. It closed for entry with staking your Blaze tokens around this date. So at that point, there wasn't much utility for the Blaze token itself. Even using it to stake, it's built for staking. That's what the token was built for. Brilliant distribution model, but it was built for staking. And whenever that pool closed, day 365, it wasn't really a good investment to continue to get Blaze and stake it. So for this kind of downward trajectory here, what was happening was simply that people were playing the daily auction. They were coming into the auction each day. If there was a positive ROI here, again, not a lot of people paying attention. There was opportunity in here most days for somebody or a few people to come in, throw some ETH into the system and sell, immediately claim. When you take over, one thing about Blaze is there's no timestamps in the auction. If you're right, you've got a 24-hour period. You can see today's auction. We are 10 hours and 52 minutes to go in a 24-hour auction. You can come in at the last minute, right before the deadline, throw in your ETH, and straight after it ticks over to the new day, claim it. A lot of protocols and would have a timestamp. If you've got a 24-hour participation window, they would timestamp your participation. So if you come in 2 hours after the auction began, you would have to wait 2 hours into the next auction. But in Blaze, you can literally come in right at the death, participate, claim your tokens immediately, and sell them. And we've seen that happening, for quite some time here. Day 365 was you're just dragging down. And at that time, the Blaze team of 8 that originally launched the protocol, was a broken machine. There was a few broken wheels on train, and myself and Utah bought the other guys out, and we've been working steadily and hard to try and pull this thing back. You'll see it did start getting things moving in the right direction, and we had a bit of a market turn. I think there's a little bit of hype, a lot of people kind of getting in and backing the new team, but again, the whole market kind of started to have a bit of a pullback. TitanxUtils especially as well had this bit of downtime. And the thing about Blaze is that if it doesn't get enough people participating and playing, if the price of Blaze pumps too quick and there's not enough people want the Blaze, this is kind of what can happen. This, if you imagine if for talk's sake, the auctions need $1,000 a day to close it negative. If all of a sudden you need $3,000 to come in instead of one, you need to triple the user base in the auction every day. And if you don't get that, this is what can happen. It can continue to trend down. And that arbitrage that I'm talking about can be there again for people to simply come in and take an ROI and sell. And that's what happened again in that period. And diamonds and what we've built with diamonds was always a real use case for the token that aims to stop this happening. It puts a use on the Blaze token. There is not a lot of Blaze out there. 75% of it's staked currently. There's more, call it 5% LP. There's only about 20% of it that has come onto the market so far that is liquid and out there at the minute. And Diamonds puts a massive use case on this Blaze token, and a reason for people to need to go into the auction to get tokens. So we believe that's what's been happening with the Blaze price. That people need. The auctions recently have been closing out every day. So the auction's closing out every day. Obviously, this actually starts off. So we simulate in the Blaze auction. This 10 number here is kind of auto filled, which is puts it in that you're putting 0.02 ETH into the system into the auction, and I kind of use that as my starting point each day when I'm looking and just seeing what's going on. So about 70 bucks of ETH into the system today. This starts off every day at that somewhere around 17, 18x. And obviously, as everybody puts their ETH into the system, the ROI drops down. Now, you would look at the ROI at the minute and go, it's negative. Why would I want to? What that's the reality is that for the user that's looking to snipe and make a quick profit, obviously that's not a good thing. But for participation in the protocol, for the longevity of the protocol, for the health of the protocol, we do actually want to see this ROI go negative each day. Now, that's only because if somebody wants to get a nice big chunk of supply, the liquidity pool has only got be 35k, something like that, in liquidity in it. So slippage is a big factor when you're going to try and get your hands on a couple of thousand tokens. So 6,000 tokens are up for grabs each day. If you try to buy 6,000, you're probably going to push the price, you know, somewhere around this maybe 8% or something like that anyway, but you're going to get hit with quite a lot of slippage. So when it goes negative like this, because price, it can go negative if you've participated and the value of the token on the market drops. That can affect this ROI. But the fact is, at the minute, price is going up and the auction is still closing out negative most days. There was a couple of days ago, yesterday, Saturday morning, it closed at a positive ROI for the first time in a week or two, giving some arbitrageurs an opportunity to take a quick profit. But we do want to see this close out every day. It's healthy. It shows that people want Blaze tokens. And the reason we believe it's not, that this is for people to participate, is that this pumpage has been happening over the last few weeks. People that are getting a hold of Blaze seem to be keeping it. The only people dumping it are the opportunists that come in every day to take a little bit of a profit. And some of those guys actually, even though they sell, they re-enter all the time, and they're building up little pots of Blaze in other wallets and things. So, you know, it's looking very, very healthy. What's happening in the Blaze ecosystem, the Blaze protocol, is very, very healthy, very, very exciting at this minute in time. Now, yeah, so this is going to reset tomorrow morning about 9:40 UK time. This resets every day. And only 6,000 Blaze tokens are up for grabs every day. It's not even as many as 6,000. It's actually down. What are we down to? 5,952 tokens available today. And that reduces each day by 0.08%. When the protocol launched 502 days ago, this began at 8,888 tokens a day. And it's dropped already after 500 days to under 6,000. So every day, Blaze gets more scarce. Blaze gets burnt. Blaze gets staked. And like I say, this as a staking protocol has worked phenomenally well in terms of locking supply off the market. So that is bullish as hell for diamonds, because there's not a lot of Blaze out there. People are holding on to their Blaze. And all the Blaze that gets used to go in to diamonds, 80% of it gets staked, max staked in the protocol for 2,888 days. 80% of the Blaze that gets used in diamonds will not hit the market for years and years. So a supply that's already scarce will be, hopefully, if diamonds is successful and what it's setting out to do, will absolutely obliterate, hopefully, the supply that comes out here every day. The best place for Blaze is in diamonds. For everybody, for participation, for participants in diamond or Blaze already, or participants in diamonds, the best thing you can do with Blaze is get it and get it into the diamonds protocol. It will breathe life into diamonds. It'll breathe life into Blaze. But that 80%. If so, you come along and you put $1,000 into diamonds, $500 worth of ETH, $500 worth of Blaze, that's $500 worth of Blaze. 80% of it is never going to see the market again. The other 20% is going to go into the hands of participants in staking, and us as for Genesis. So it's going to go in to strong hands as well. Another massively bullish factor for the protocol. What's Utah's 10? Show the diamond hand pool. What's the diamond hand pool up to now? Well, yeah, we'll look at that quickly. So this diamond hand pool, I haven't even, I'm trying to actually give a quick synopsis here, but I'm kind of getting deep into the weeds. But 450k back up to 457k in the diamond hand pool. Now, okay. Before I look deep into that, one more thing that I want to say about participating in diamonds and what it can do to the Blaze price. Okay, this has been just people buying off the market, we believe, in anticipation to get their hands on supply of diamonds, because it's going to get harder to get supply of Blaze, because it's going to get harder and harder to get Blaze when diamonds kicks off. Today, if we look at the volume on Blaze today, right? We've got a 42k liquidity pool. That's made up half and half Blaze and TitanxUtils. So nice, healthy liquidity pool. Still tight to be, small enough that this thing can pump like a motherfucker if it gets any sort of buy pressure on it. Bear in mind, if people are buying it to put it in to diamonds, it is not 80% of it is never seeing the market. And the other 20%, like I say, it's going to take time for that. That's going to be staked. The stakers in diamonds are going to get that. They're going to have to wait 88 days before they even get their hands on the Blaze that's coming in. So everything, all the Blaze going into diamonds is just going to disappear. But we've got only 2.1k volume on Blaze today. That's 1.5k buy volume and 500, almost $600 of sale volume. So we're only looking at a sort of net $900 buy value, and the coin is up $900, folks, $900, and we're up 16% on the day. Now, if somebody comes along to participate in diamonds and they don't have Blaze, if they want to get the Blaze, they've got to buy it or participate in the auction. But if they don't, and they only have ETH, and they throw the ETH into the system, into diamonds, half of that ETH will market buy Blaze. Now, if somebody wants to throw, we're looking at this going, okay, you're looking at $900 buy volume, can push the price 16% today. If day one of Blaze or day one of diamonds, for talk's sake, even if we were to get 10 grand of ETH to come in, and that 10 grand, $5,000 could potentially need to market buy Blaze. Now, if $900 is pushed at 18%, what's 5 grand in one day going to do? And bear in mind that Blaze that comes in, there's no sell pressure from it. It's gone. It's gone. So I really do believe people are underestimating the effects that the effects that diamonds can have on the Blaze protocol. I hope I covered that nicely. Okay, so didn't want to get too sidetracked. I wanted to make sure I covered some of the things that I wanted to say about that. But what's happening here? We launched the Diamond Certificate Mint about 3 weeks ago. And this was to give us something. This was to give us something to talk about, to get early community participating, and something that we could continually cover in the lead up to the protocol launching on 11/11. So we launched the Diamond Certificate NFTs, and Diamond Certificate NFTs get you, if you hold the NFTs, you get ETH rewards from the Diamonds protocol every 28 days. I'll not dig into that. You can watch any of our previous deep dive streams to find out exactly how you get those rewards. But just by minting and holding NFTs, Diamond Certificate NFTs, you receive ETH every 28 days. Now, we launched this thing, like I say, 3 weeks ago, and we have minted 1,088 NFTs have been minted so far. pretty damn. Rich was saying, he didn't expect to get that much participation. It's done phenomenally well so far. Now, every diamond certificate NFT that gets minted, the whole value of the ETH that comes in. So at the minute, each one costs 0.014 ETH. So it's actually working out exactly $50 there today. So $50 per NFT. And all that ETH value goes into the buy and burn for the Diamonds protocol. So another super bullish factor for what we've got coming. These NFTs have been on sale at half price. Now, we have given everybody as much notice as we can about this. We have streamed continuously. We have tweeted continuously. We've been covering this stuff. We've been screaming it from the rooftops for weeks. And hopefully people don't regret that they haven't bothered to get into this thing yet. Now, like I say, this is currently 1,088 NFTs have been minted for $50 of each. This price doubles when the protocol launches. So it's going to go up to 0.028 ETH in 1 day and 14 hours. So that's all you have left to get your hands on these half price NFTs. After that, if you want to get a ticket or a share of the 28-day rewards, you're going to have to pay twice the price that you do now. And again, this is why we've seen many people participating now, because of this half price deal. But the additional little bonus that you get is if you do mint 28. If you mint 28, I was mentioning there before about day 365 and the 888-day pool in Blaze closing. It closed for staking Blaze tokens, but you can still get in via minting 28 NFTs. So if you mint 28 NFTs and hold them, you can't sell them once you get them. You've got to hold them. But if you mint 28, you will be able to come to the Blaze DApp and get yourself a diamond hand ticket. Okay. Now, this is, like I say, this is good value at the minute, but it's going to double next week. So if we just quickly look at the price of minting 28 NFTs, so 28 today is going to cost you $1,400. Next week or in 2 days' time, it's going to be double. It's going to be 28. If ETH continues to go up, that's just going to get dearer and dearer and dearer to get NFTs and a Blaze Diamond Hand ticket. So $1,400 with 28 NFTs to get a Blaze Diamond Hand ticket. Now, 475 tickets are going to share this 460K of ETH. So each 28 can potentially add one more to this. So you're getting, even if once you pay $1,400 for your 28 NFTs, you're going to get roughly, call it roughly $1,000 back from the Diamond Hand 888-day payout. Plus, you're getting your 28-day payouts in diamonds every 28 days. 28 ETH payments from Diamonds Protocol every 28 days. And you also get the additional bonus of, and this was not really intended, this is just the way the code was written originally, and we didn't really plan it to happen this way. But if you mint 28 NFTs, day 888 pools in Blaze reset every 888 days. When it resets, anybody that has Blaze tokens, they don't get their tokens back. But if they want to get into the next 888 pool, they need to mint or find another 4,000 Blaze tokens and max stake them again. Stake their another 4,000 tokens for another 2,888 days. But if you have 28 NFTs, when this ticks over to the next pool, if you're still holding the 28 NFTs, you can get yourself a ticket in the next Diamond Hand pool with the NFTs that you already have. So again, this is why we're seeing the numbers of diamonds NFTs being minted. If you go and look, a lot of people that are paying attention are minting 28 or minting multiple 28s because of all these benefits that come along, the fact it's doubling in price, the fact that you get ETH rewards every 28 days, the fact you get into the Blaze pool, you get that money back whenever it ticks over in about another year's time, plus all future 88 pools if you're still holding the NFTs. Now, I hope we have shown over the last while our dedication to the ecosystem, our dedication to protocols that we're involved in, the protocols that we've built, and we do plan to continually add and work our asses off for this Blaze ecosystem within TitanX. So these things that I've just covered here at the end of the stream here tonight, or where we're at, why Blaze is pumping, why NFTs are selling, why things are looking and shaping up pretty well at this minute in time. So we've got this. We were hoping to get this thing to up over 50K. We surpassed 50K today. We're hoping that we get a bit of a last minute influx of people minting NFTs. Remember, every NFT, the balance gets added here, and that is just a straight 100% build up for the buy and burn in the Diamonds protocol. Okay, so all these bullish factors, and we're looking at how, people come in with ETH, the effect that the buy pressure that Diamonds could put on the Blaze token, not just from people wanting the auctions or buying it off market, but sticking ETH into the Diamonds protocol will market buy Blaze. When Diamonds launches the liquidity pool X28, Diamonds X28 will be the liquidity pool. If X28 and TitanX pump, we will get dragged up. Diamonds will get dragged up with that. But $4,000 of X worth of X28 is going to be paired with the with the Diamonds on launch. So you can see how easy it is. You guys know this. One thing about bonded liquidity, but another thing, thin liquidity can pump like crazy. This is not financial advice. This could all go to shit very, very easily. Hopefully it doesn't. We think we've done a good job building this thing. And you never know what's going to happen with the price charts. Definitely be careful if you're trying to snipe this launch. We all know what it's like with sniper bots coming in, pumping the price and dumping on you. So be very, very careful if you're planning to market buy Diamonds, because there's not going to be a lot of supply when this thing launches. But if we're looking at 4K worth of X28, that's going to be paired with whatever the number of Diamonds will be worth 4K. So we're going to start off with an $8,000 liquidity pool. So you guys that have been here for a long time know how easy it is to pump a $8,000 liquidity pool. Thin liquidity at the start can really move fast with any sort of buy pressure. So 8,000K Diamonds thick liquidity pool on launch. Miners that are set, Blazes to come in. Blazes to come in. When the miners are set in the protocol, people are waiting 100 days to get their Diamonds tokens, or they're early claiming. So again, when this thing launches, there's not going to be a lot of Diamonds out there on the market, and there will be other things for people to immediately do with their Diamonds tokens. So like I say, we're hoping to see fireworks when this thing launches. Whether that happens or not, I do not know. But yeah, time will tell. Any questions, anything that I've mentioned, please fire them in the comments. A lot of getting bullish on this freaking thing here, getting bullish. We've been talking about the, digging into the protocol, what it does, explaining, educating. Now it's time to get into the real nitty gritty of making money, making moves, and using this system to help everybody that's in the ecosystem. Hopefully, plenty of people can ROI on this thing and get a nice, return on investment, make some money. It could be very, very volatile. One price pumps, it affects the other. These things are going to, there's going to be a lot of moving parts between Blaze, between Diamonds, between prices, between amounts of tokens. So yeah, it's heating up pretty damn nicely.
Look, folks, this is huge. We start going to put tariffs, big tariffs on ETH. We're gonna make people buy diamonds. Diamonds, the best, the classiest. It's all about the diamonds now, more valuable, more powerful. Everyone sits talking about it. We're making buying and crushing, buying and burning great again, folks. Really great. November 11th is coming. It's a whole new game, folks, a winning game, the biggest, believe me.
Diamonds will be very scarce in the market. Blaze is already pretty scarce on the market, so we're hoping for fireworks between the two. Woo! Let's fucking go! Love it, love it. I haven't been this fired up for anything in crypto in quite some time. So we deserve some serious pumps in the ecosystem, some serious fucking action, some fun times again. So hopefully when we're streaming over the next few weeks, we can get that fucking energy back. Woohoo! Oh, yes. Get your diamonds bought on market, get your Blaze bought on market, get participating, get this thing blazing and firing up. Okay, look, that's it for tonight. Again, another long stream tonight. I said I'd try and come on for about 45 minutes tonight. We're already approaching an hour and 45. So much to cover, so much to talk about. TitanxUtils doing a great job adding to the ecosystem. Rich landing, I'm sure he's feeling the heat, feeling the pressure. A lot of stuff to get organized over the next few days. Although development's going pretty smoothly. Design, not so much. But everything is pulling together nicely, without doubt. We will be back on streaming tomorrow night, probably 10 p.m. UK time. We will have a launch stream on the usual weekly Blaze. And I would say every night this week, there's definitely going to be a stream from members of the team covering, educating, learning, looking where to play, seeing how things are going. There will be fireworks. So cheers everybody for tuning in. I hope you learned something tonight. We'll finish with saying diamonds1111.win. The only thing live on the DApp at the minute is minting NFTs. You've only got 1 day and 14 hours left to mint at the reduced price. And again, getting your hands on those 28 could be a really nice early move in the Diamonds protocol. Thanks to everybody that's shown support so far and has minted or minted 28. We appreciate the support. It's adding firepower to the Diamond Crusher to burn diamonds whenever we launch. So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you all again tomorrow night. Two little songs to play for you before we leave. We'll have I want to play one, and then we'll have just the usual closing out. But this song gets me fired up, and it's a bit of fun. So
Down in the crypto holler, there's a gem called Diamond Bright. 4 ways to join the fun, each one standing on its own right. Pick 1, 2, 3, or all, no strings to tie 'em tight. Check the white paper for details, it'll set you straight tonight. Oh, diamonds, shiny diamonds, independent as can be. Mix 'em up or pick your favorite, works for you and me. Diamonds, shiny diamonds, easy ways to win the game. Yeehaw, grab you, holler out the Diamond's name. On 10, 22, 25, store opens wide. Buy diamond certificates, we're here to hold them with pride. Earn these rewards every 28 days, steady as the tide. Long as you keep them NFTs, the goodies keep on coming inside. Oh, diamonds, shiny diamonds, independent as can be. Mix them up or pick your favorite, what's for you and me. Diamonds, shiny diamonds, easy ways to win the game. Yeehaw, grab you, holler out the Diamond's name.
oh, see you all later.
Diamonds are forever, the crown jewels keep. Diamonds are forever, locked whispers of the sea. Diamonds are forever, blaze that cracks the night. Diamonds are forever, your ticket to the flight. NFTs, baby, sharp as diamond claws. is.